Oh, welcome back to the We Are City channel for our third and possibly final season of our FC 25 career mode. New beginnings because there is a new era starting in Season 3. Pep Guardiola has left the club and a new manager will come in and be in charge of this Manchester City side. We've been looking around the leagues around the world, but we decided to go with a manager from where we know in the Premier League, someone who has built a team in the Premier League over years, built a side, built a real ambitious team. And it is former now former Brentford manager Thomas Frank comes in to be the new Manchester City manager. A bit of a left field pick, a bit of a different option. I wanted to go with someone a bit out there, a little bit different, play a little bit of a different style, still play entertaining football, but be a bit more of a direct team this year in Season 3. And Manchester City announced Thomas Frank as the new manager. He's the right person with the right attitude and a manager who shares the club's vision for the future. And there's going to be lots of transfers and a big rebuild, starting off with Scott Carson, who's decided to leave Manchester City at the end of this previous season. He's contracted up, a new contract won't be given, and the GOAT, as we call him, the greatest of all time goalkeeper, Scott Carson, will be leaving Manchester City. He goes on his way, and he's not the only departure in this City side. I think there's going to be big movement in this team as we turn this side from the Pep Guardiola era team that we built there into a more transitional side in ways. Not entirely, but a lot of it, and become a completely different team. A possession side that can score from crosses, that's a bit more physical maybe in areas, there's a little bit more ability to score on the counter-attack, to attack teams a little bit quicker than we have done on the City side. And that means a rebuild, that means a lot of older players being moved on, and a lot of older players being made into different players, younger players, hungrier players, players that have yet to achieve big things in their career, but the ambition to really achieve big things in their career here at Manchester City. When the rebuild begins, starting off with McAtee, who's been on loan at Bournemouth. They've agreed a permanent deal. It was an option in the loan, a £9 million move. Accepted offers for Kyogo Fudiashi, 31 years of age, been a great backup striker, a great servant to the club. But Brighton and Nottingham Forest have made moves for him, and Calvin Phillips, his loan move at Marseille, has been made permanent. £8.5 million as well goes into the transfer budget. We're going to be letting a lot of players go. And Kyogo decided not on Brighton, but Forest in a £12.5 million move. We actually still made a profit. Christian McFarlane, right at the start of the transfer window, makes a 12-month loan to Regina. And this is how the squad is looking. And with a lot of players out of contract, one player we need to mention, Rodri, doesn't want to sign a new contract. Bournemouth have agreed to pay $52 million for Colin. He's going to be a lot of big transfers, I believe, in this transfer window from around the world of football. And Colin to Bournemouth, that is a massive striker signing. I mean, $95 million he joined from Frankfurt. And you can see the City side now will go for the full squad and how it is looking. David Mabama, we have intentions to keep him around in this City side. A striker, number 45 for the season, 21 years of age, was fantastic on loan last season. Actually scored 4 in the final day of the season against us. He is got potential to be special. Erling Haaland, we have no intention of letting Haaland go anywhere. Our Norse striker, a bit of a connection with the fact that Thomas Frank is Danish, so I think we want to keep him around. Haaland's going nowhere. I expect maybe we receive some offers for Erling Haaland, but he's not going. Fahad Alpha Ruprecht, he'll be allowed to move on loan. 21 years of age, still developing as a footballer, but certainly got a lot to show for. Still, if he's going to get anywhere near the City side, so we've probably not seen much of him. Oscar Bob, 80 rated now. He's going to play a big part, I think, in Thomas Frank's side. 22 years of age, a really important player for the team. And I do think we can kick on his development, get him to an 83, 84 rating by the end of this season. Savinho, he is 85 rated. He finished the season 86. He unfortunately had a bit of an injury. He was one of our key players last year. He's going nowhere. Brian Burmo came in for the last 6 months of the season. Unfortunately, got injured for most of it. But he's going to be a key player under Thomas Frank. Frank knows him very well from his time at Bournemouth. Phil Foden, going to be a key player as well, 26 years of age now, coming into the real prime of his career, so he's going to be very important for us. Emilio Lawrence, intention is to loan him out, 20 years of age. There has been interest shown in Lawrence from Brentford to take him on loan, so that is interesting to see if Thomas Frank lets him go to one of his former sides. Claude Echeverri proved to be one of the special footballers last season, has potential to be special, 80 rated. He's going to play a key part throughout this Season 3. I have a big feeling he's going to push out a lot of people starting on the left-hand side. He's going to battle with Savinho and also Jeremy Doku out there. Doku also has that special something. Alex Baena, real creative midfielder, was fantastic for us last season. He's going to play in that hole, only 24 years of age, and he is going to play as more of a number 10 this season. Florian Wirtz, 90 rated, he is our starting number 10, and I mean, he's one of the world's best. Obviously, another player that we don't intend to let go anywhere. Joshua King has gone to Belgium to play on loan. Union Saint-Gilles, hopefully he continues his development. 19 years of age, one for the future. Nico Riley, we'd like to keep him around in the squad, but we are open to loan moves to Nico Riley should someone come in and make a move for him. Sol Sidibe has joined Paris FC on a loan for this season, and he will continue his development there, the young Englishman. Rico Lewis, no way he is going anywhere. 85 rated, all action midfielder, he's going nowhere. Mateus Nunes, we are willing to listen to offers from Mateus Nunes. I think his time is probably up at the club now. João Rego, he's loan listed, but we're open to permanent moves as well for João Rego. The same goes for Mohamed Soho. I think needs to go and play football somewhere else. His time is up. Maximo Perone is fantastic. He's been really good. Only 79 rated, but he plays much more higher rated player than that. The way he plays, he's staying. The same for Alan Varela, one of our key players last season. He is going absolutely nowhere. 24 years of age. What a play he has been. What a sign he has been from January. Submitted a transfer request. Rodri, with Guardiola going, Rodri says he wants to go as well. 92 rated is our key midfielder. He's going to have to try and replace him as our captain last season. And when Pep goes, Rodri says it's time for him to go as well. That is a big, big problem for the side, and something that we're going to have to try and figure out somewhere what we do, how we do that, and what can we get the best deal for him. And replacing him is going to be so difficult. I mean, he is the key man at Manchester City, and he was our captain last season. He's our highest rated player. Jacob Wright is also loan listed, but we're happy to keep him around within the squad. Joel Katongo has been approached by Wolfsburg, but the intention is for this man who played Premier League football at Crystal Palace last season to be the backup right back for us this year. Callum Bell's going nowhere as well. Played at La Real, played Champions League football, 78 rated, 22. He's ready for first team action. Ruben Diaz, 29 rated, going nowhere. Manny Makanji, we are willing to let him go. The same goes for Nathan Ake. He's been approached by Liverpool. We won't be letting him go to a fellow Premier League side. He's unhappy with his game time. The same goes for John Stones, who believes his time at Manchester City is over. So Ake, Stones and Akanji all could be on the chopping block. Giovanni Leone, the intention is to send him back out on loan. Spent the loan at Rangers last season. Maybe we see him go there again if they make an approach to the young Italian. Kenan Braithwaite, he will be moved away from the club permanently. I think it's 70 rated, 21. It is his time to be moved on from the club. Unfortunately for him, he's not made it. McFarlane has moved away to Italy on loan, but I think he's too lowly rated in his development to really increase. Vardiol is going absolutely nowhere. No worries about him. He is going to be the starting left back this season. We're going to get into some competition, I think, in that position. Matt Young, a young goalkeeper, very young goalkeeper, 19. He's going to try and be loaned out. Michael Zotera is going absolutely nowhere. He's going to be our backup goalkeeper this year. And then it all comes down to our first choice goalkeeper and our second highest rated player in the side alongside Erling Haaland. Ederson, he has got interest in him from Italy, and he could decide to leave the club this summer. And if he does, and he does believe it's his time up, City then need to start looking for replacements. And you can see here, Napoli did make an offer for us for Ederson, 66 million plus. It was actually Robert Sanchez as our new goalkeeper, but City rejected the deal as they had a different valuation of player. We revalue Ederson at around, I think, 85 million. Joao Cancelo is back in Europe. He's moved from Al Hilal back to a former side, the 32-year-old, in a £40 million move to Bayern Munich to go and play under Vincent Kompany there. He could have been one of the options for a new manager at Manchester City, but in the end, we went left field. We went for something we'd never done before, unexpected, in bringing in Brentford's Thomas Frank, and Vincent Kompany has been doing well there. Soloff has left Atletico Madrid to move to AS Monaco. He's in Ligue 1 now, £32 million deal. And you can see there, Napoli wanted either Ederson or Alisson. They're going to try and go for one of them. Odegaard has moved to PSG. A Premier League side being very weakened there in Arsenal, 147 million. That is an incredibly massive deal for a very good player on a 4-year contract. Paris Saint-Germain raiding the transfer market and raiding Arsenal for this one of their top players. And Bulka has joined Atletico Madrid for £30 million from Nice. They get a new goalkeeper to replace Jan Oblak. We will keep updated in all the transfers from around Europe and around the world of FC 25 here in Season 3, because I'm sure lots of big deals will go through. Bologna have signed Zaniolo. Real Madrid are interested in Ruben Diaz. I have no intention of letting him go anywhere. If you want one of our centre-backs, come and make an offer for Nathan Ake, for John Stones, for Manu Akanji, but I don't care if Fabrizio says he's going nowhere. Brugge Moraes, our Manchester City target, he has moved to Juve for 61 million. I think that's quite a good deal. We are 3 years in. Bayer Leverkusen replace Stefan Ortega with our goalkeepers. And you can see here, Ederson, a move has come in for him now from Inter. They say 74 million. We agree a deal of 85 million. That is our valuation. And it looks like Ederson could be leaving the club in the transfer window very early on. Like I said, a big rebuild is going on. Players over 30 are going to be moved on. Younger players are going to go in. You can see how many deals are going on at the moment. Lawrence, Rego, Leone, Wright, Braithwaite, O'Reilly, Stones. There's so much transfers that is going to happen in these first 2 episodes of the season. I'll be surprised if we don't see 10 players go out. Maybe 5 permanently, 5 on loan, maybe more. And we're looking to bring in this transfer window 5 new players. And replacing Ederson is one of the first things we need to do. And this is the player I decided should be the man to replace Ederson at Manchester City. It's Lucas Chevalier, the Frenchman, 24 years of age, 85 rated already. He's going to, I think, hit Ederson levels in terms of potential. Market value of 43 million. Napoli, who couldn't get Ederson, have actually gone for this man as well. So we want to make sure that that isn't the case. He is our #1 target for goalkeeper. At 24 years of age, he's got a big future. He's a goalkeeper that Thomas Frank has approved of to come in. He's got good kicking. He can play the sweeper keeper, goalkeeper role. We can train him that sweeper keeper role. There's nothing that really stands out in his physical stats, but goalkeeping stats, very good reflexes and very good kicking. I think they're the 2 key stats. And also 1v1, he likes to close players down. That is one of his key player roles, or whatever you want to call it as well. He is my #1 target and my only target for goalkeeper. He's been linked with City in real life as a future goalkeeper for the club. Cavalier is very young, but very, very experienced because he's played a lot of football for Lille in the Champions League and so on. So we are going to make a move for him. I think we can probably get him for under that £43 million mark because he is out of contract in the summer at Lille. He doesn't intend to sign a new deal because he's expecting a big move, and that big move might just be to our Manchester City side. And we do agree a deal for Lucas Cavalier, a deal of £38 million. Napoli have had an offer accepted as well, but I'm pretty sure we can convince him to pick us over Napoli and become first choice goalkeeper at Manchester City, which will then see Ederson already agree to move to Inter Milan. He will move to Italy, 32 years of age. I think it's a perfect time for Ederson to move on, actually. And I think for Lucas Cavalier to come in and be the #1 is fantastic. So deal agreed. We agree negotiations for the contract. He meets his new manager, Thomas Frank, for the first time. The young goalkeeper will be put through his tests in the medical department to make sure everything is ready to make such a big investment in a player. And our new #1 on the shirt and on the pitch as well. Welcome to Manchester City. It is Lucas Cavalier, 38 million, and our first signing of the transfer window for season 3 is a big one, and that has got to be only a B transfer rating. I'm surprised it's not an A. Ederson, there you are, confirmed, moving to Inter for 85 million, so that move goes ahead as well. Jacob Wright joins Southampton in the Premier League on a 12-month loan. Also, the departures moving thick and fast. Giovanni Leone returns to Rangers on a 12-month loan. He's going back there. Caden Braithwaite makes a permanent £7 million move to Luton. More money in the transfer budget. And now we're looking, as we said, Joshua Vardiol is going to be our starting left back this season. We're looking for a backup left back. We had on our list Patrick Dorju and also Bradley Locko. Very physical, sort of energetic left backs. I think Dorju at 21 years of age, he's a young player who's got a lot of potential, and the Danish and, you know, the Scandinavian connection with Thomas Frank means he is a player I'd like to move for. He did play for Lecce in Italy. He had made the move from Lecce to also Real Betis, where he's been playing in the Liga. He developed from a 66 rated fullback at the start of this series. In 3 seasons, he's gone up by 10 overall ratings to 76. Great sprint speed, great balance, a real aggressive player. And we know that Thomas Frank plays the back 4, but he likes to play in some of the bigger games, play a back 5 with wing backs. I think Patrick Dorju playing a left back, left midfield role is perfect for this Manchester City and Thomas Frank side. So we are going to make a move for Patrick Dorju, and we do agree a deal of £11 million. That is an absolute steal for a young player of his quality. And Patrick Dorju, we agree a deal so simply for him to come in. Welcome to Manchester City, a new fullback, a new player to really battle with Joško Vardiol, a very, very young player, somebody who's got real high potential, and to sign him for the fee we have done is absolutely perfect. He will wear the number 13 shirt here at Thomas Frank's Manchester City, and he's signing number 2 of the transfer window, and we've spent nowhere near as much as we already brought in from Real Betis. Welcome, Patrick Dorgu. Now you can see Dorgu, he will wear the number 13 shirt, and he will battle with Joško Vardiol in that left-back role. I will say the squad numbers are subject to change. We could see Vardiol change maybe to a number 4 and so on. And Cavalier there wearing the number 1. 2 new signs on the side already, and so many more, I do believe, are yet to come. We are looking for a new right back as well to be the starter maybe in this side. Pedro Porro has been a big option for us. I mean, look at him statistically, he's amazing. But we have been battling with Spurs right at the top of that Premier League table the past 2 seasons now. He is a former Manchester City player, but it does seem like it's going to be pretty difficult to sign a player from a direct rival who's competing for the title, and someone who is pretty happy at Tottenham Hotspur at 26 years of age. 86 rated, has everything we want from a fullback, but maybe he's a little bit too attacking for this Thomas Frank system. We're talking maybe up to £80 million on a fullback. That is not the sort of money we intend to spend on a player, and we're going to look for someone maybe a little bit younger and someone a little bit more out there, and that is Wilfried Singo of AS Monaco. He can play it right back. He's a big physical force. He's more defensive minded maybe than Pedro Porro. He hasn't got the same quality going forward, but his physicality and some of the attributes he does possess, to me, makes him stand out as a real top quality player. So I do think Wilfried Singo is the man to go for at right back. 6'3". He can play as a centre back and he can play as a right back. He's a bit more versatile than Pedro Porro in that sense. You can see there, sprint speed 92, 87 jumping, 85 strength, great aggression, reactions, interceptions, and then he's a relatively all-rounder in terms of his technical ability. He's not amazing technically, he's just okay. That's something we certainly can work on. He's got a power header play style, and he's also absolutely rapid, but physically he upgrades his team to an unbelievable level, doesn't he? So we're going to try to agree a deal for him between 33 and 42 million pounds, and a 25-year-old playing in Ligue 1, I think that is probably a fair price to get him in for around 35 million. And we do agree a deal less than we expected. We managed to move on a player that we're looking to move on in Mateus Nunes and agree 16 million plus Nunes. I think that is a spectacularly good deal. Nunes goes and plays in Ligue 1, where I think he will strive there. We get a player off the books that we want to move on, and we bring in a player in an integral position who's going to be our starting right back at the club. Without a doubt, he's going to be the starting right back. Rico Lewis is a midfielder, a full-time midfielder. It's going to be Singo and then maybe Gerald Katongo, the guy who's come back from loan, as that right-hand side. We're going to put faith in Katongo because we know other players can play that right-back role as well. Then you've got Doyle, and you've got other players as well. Doyle can play at left-back. We've brought in Dorgu. We've got Vardy on the left-hand side. I think we've got a lot of players who are versatile. I mean, Rico Lewis can always fill in at right back if needed to. So a deal agreed for Wilfried Singo, who's a physical force, who is going to be a big physical force in Thomas Frank's Manchester City side. He will wear the number 2 shirt just like Kyle Walker wore many years ago. And Thomas Frank makes signing number 3 in a really good deal. 16 million plus Mateus Nunes for Wilfried Singo, which is surely and has to be an A rating. It's a B rating. I suspected that would be a lot higher. Emilio Lawrence left the club in a 12-month loan to former Thomas Frank's side, Brentford, and Girona have made a big move in the transfer market. They managed to sign Yeremy Pino. Ruprecht has gone to La Liga to Villarreal on a 12-month loan to replace Pino, and then we've also got Nico O'Reilly moving to Atafe in a 12-month loan. Matt Young moves to Middlesbrough in a 12-month loan as well, former Sunderland player. That is a bit interesting. And you see RB Leipzig have signed Julian Alvarez from Atletico Madrid for 94 million. So Gyökeres has pushed Alvarez out of that side. And a big bit of news in terms of departures, a first massive departure really. John Stones makes a £38.5 million move to Valencia. So like Ederson, a very important player leaves the club. El Nasiri has moved to Liverpool. That's a big move for them. Thiago has moved to Wolfsburg from Brentford, £25 million. He doesn't look very happy at all, is he, in the comments there. And there you can see confirmation of John Stones' nearly £40 million move to Valencia. That's a lot of money to spend on a 32-year-old. That is a really good deal. I think Stones' time was up at the club. And it's interesting turn of events. People didn't expect him to leave the club, but John Stones does move away from Manchester City and he's been a great servant. Thank you for everything you've done at City, and good luck, Johnny Stones, in Spain. Well, this is the tactics we've been using. This is the Thomas Frank tactic. You can see how the squad is looking. It looks pretty good, doesn't it? I mean, look at how many players we've got in all positions now, and I'm very excited for what we can do with that team. Now, we continue to try and get Rodri on a new contract if we can do, but he will not sign a new deal, and for the risk of losing him on a free transfer, which we just cannot afford to do, we're going to let him go. And it's time for the first bit of action, the first game of the new season. It is pre-season against Melbourne City. Here is Katongo. Into the box here to Mbeumo on a turn. Brian Mbeumo shoots here, Mbeumo. What a strike from Brian Mbeumo, who I think is going to be a crucial player under Thomas Frank, isn't he, here at Manchester City. Thomas Frank had said in an interview wherever he goes, if he ever went to a bigger club, he would take Brian Mbeumo with him. He didn't need to. Guardiola took him with him. Great turn, great little 1-2 and shimmy. And then he pulls the trigger. Rifles it into that top left-hand corner. And it's a first goal of the Thomas Frank era. Yes, not competitively. In pre-season, what a finish. Looking to throw this one out here. Look at the press straight away from us, and Mbeumo goes and wins it brilliantly. Phil Foden, Baena, off to Echeverri! Claudio Echeverri makes it 2-0 Manchester City. Really, really aggressive pressing there from this Brentford side. You can see that straight away. As soon as he threw that ball out, Mbeumo and Foden on them in a flash. And Mbeumo's playing centrally today through the middle. Great play. Foden back into Baena, laid off to Echeverri. And a fantastic finish by the Argentinian to make it 2-0. What a goal that is. And that comes from the real intensity we're showing with a much younger side now, which we're trying to build here. Echeverri lifts one in behind to Mbeumo. He's got Phil Foden in acres of space in the middle. 3-0 City in pre-season. What a start to this one. And Thomas Frank ball, the Thomas Frank way. So far, he's looking pretty impressive. I'm sure we will maybe draw one in pre-season, maybe lose one as well. That's the way it seems to go. But we've made a really, really good start in pre-season. Great ball in behind by Echeverri. And Mbeumo, first time ball across the box. And Phil Foden is there for the tap-in. And it's a really, really easy finish, isn't it? Goalkeeper, absolutely no chance. Foden rifled into the roof of the net. Celebration from Phil Foden, he knows what that means to him. Baena, great ball again by Baena. Oscar Bob, in towards the goalkeeper to make the save. Savinho, could he have squared it to Mabama there, who's through the centre. Varela, Baena again to Bob. Bob for a second chance to the assist this time. And it's Devin Mabama with a brilliant goal, the former West Ham United man, who's been on loan at Burnley in the Premier League. Scored 4 goals in the season against us. And he is going to be, I believe, a future star in this Manchester City side, and he is going to get his chances under Thomas Frank this season as backup to Mbeumo and Erling Haaland in those central positions. Pre-season game over. That is the end of that one. City come away with a nice big 4-0 win. We are looking at centre-backs as well, with the idea that maybe John Stones has left the club, of course, and Manu Akanji and Nathan Ake's future pretty uncertain. We've got a few players on our list of options as targets. One of those is Mario, who's left Nottingham Forest, left footer. He has moved to Borussia Mönchengladbach in the Bundesliga. Really physical defender, nice and strong, low centre of gravity. A more ball-playing defender, we have in Giorgio Scalvini, 22 years of age, 6'4". The young Italian has certainly got a lot of quality to be a really impactful player in Thomas Frank's side, and I think maybe stylistically he's the closest thing we're going to find to John Stones in terms of ability to play out from the back. Mika Marmol, another left footer on that left hand side, very, very quick. I don't think he's big enough really to play in our team, and I think with the likes of Colin Doyle there already on that left hand side, I'm looking for probably a higher rated centre-back on that left hand side. A much higher rated player is Sven Botman of Newcastle United, 26 years of age, not the quickest, but physically and defensively very good on the ball as well. But I think at 26 years of age, he's probably at the latter stages of where we want to sign a player, we want a younger player, and also I think he's just going to cost too much for what we're looking to do. We've also got Zenon Dibast, who is a brilliant player on that right hand side. He's got a massive release clause of 72 million, but in terms of an all-rounder, you can see there his stats in summary, everything's in the green bar shooting. He is a real all-rounder of a footballer, another sporting centre-back we could target actually at the club, and one that Hugo Viana, our sporting director, would know pretty well from his time at Sporting. And we also have another sporting player in Eduardo Quaresma, very quick, good on the ball, physical, good dribbler. not the best of passers, but I think he's probably just not the level we're looking for. I think we're looking for players with a higher level, and I think from those options that we've got in this shortlist, I'm looking at maybe someone else to come in that position. The Thomas Frank era is underway, and that ends episode 1, where we've already started to make massive moves in the transfer market. But don't worry, going to episode 2, even bigger moves are about to happen in and out. I can absolutely promise you that. Please like the video if you haven't already. Please do subscribe to the channel if you are new. Let us know in the comments below, what do you believe about Thomas Frank taking over from Pep Guardiola in the future? Depends how he does at Brentford, but I certainly think he's a manager that he's a bit of a left field option, and that's why I want to do something a little bit different in this career mode. And we'll see you guys next time.